Toronto, taped live at the White Elephant 366 Queen Street East in the heart of downtown Toronto. And how's everybody doing tonight? I love the energy in the house. Yes, love it. So, there has been some stuff going on in the world. So let me ask you a question. What time is it?
Hot Topics time!
Hot Topics time. And my sheet fell over. I'm going to reach home. So what is happening in the news? Anybody a Wayne Gretzky fan? Make some noise if you love Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky's daughter, who is 25 years old, Paulina Gretzky, is having a baby. So, just announced today, she and her fiance, PGA golfer Dustin Johnson, are expecting their first. So that's so nice. That's great. So who do we love to talk about? Mr. Rob Ford. How many Rob Ford supporters are here? Now you know what? He's like someone like I say, I really appreciate some of the things he does, and there's some things it's like, are you serious? So I really feel for him because of the latest news, his tumor and he's recovering, so my heart goes out to him and his family. And did you hear about the switch around in politics? Doug Ford, his brother, is now going to be running for mayor, and tag team switch around. Rob Ford is going to be running for city councilor, so they did that together. But let me ask you something. Do you think that Brother Doug was really the brains behind everything? Make some noise if you think he was. Now, it's just like they're out in the open, and it's like, okay, well, I'm really the one who's been running the city all along. Is that what you think's been going on? So anyway, so that happened, but apparently in the news, and there are children in the audience, so I'll tame it down. He got caught, it's been known that he and his sister Kathy Ford were smoking an illegal substance in her basement. So that is actually in police documents right now, and that made the news today. So we all know that he's no angel, but let's see what happens in the mayoral race. Who is going to take it? Is it going to be, and make some noise, Doug Ford? Who do you think is going to be mayor? Make some noise if you think it's going to be Doug Ford.
Yeah, Doug Ford.
Olivia Chow. Woo! Three. And then John Tory. Right, well, we shall soon see who's going to take it. Who's going to take it home. So, I had a situation that happened to me the other night. Is it okay if I share that with you? We're all friends here.
Yeah.
So, I'll go back a little bit. I'm a suburbanite. I grew up in the suburbs, and I've spent maybe the better part of my life there, 30-odd years in the suburbs. And we always had a situation with raccoons. Anybody have raccoons that come visit them and make presents in the yard? Well, the raccoons that I'm accustomed to in the suburbs, I mean, they're a little bit of, they do what they have to do. They have to go through your garbage. That's their job, and then they make a mess and they leave. And they're quite polite about it. So if you see them going through your garbage, you just kind of, walk up to them and say, okay, you know what, it's time for you to leave. And they oh, I'm sorry, is this your garbage? Well, no, I'll be on my way. Cheers! And then they leave. They're very pleasant. Not the ones in the city. They're really gangster. I have been here now in the city for about 5 years, and they're starting to really scare me. The other night, I came home late after, working, and I was walking to the entrance, and I saw a big raccoon right in front of my door. And I was shocked, and I thought, okay, maybe if I just stir a little bit, that kind of thing, they'll move. He just sat there and looked back at me. And let me show you the glare he gave me. It was kind of like, kind of menacing look. And then if you pan it on my face, it was like terror. So this transpired for about 10 minutes, and I realized that we were having a Mexican standoff situation. He was not moving. Anybody watch Clint Eastwood movies? Anybody a Western kind of well, it was just The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It was like, that's what happened right there. The whole time. So I think what he was saying in his raccoon mind to me was, I'm not moving. So I thought, okay, let's just deal with this. And I left him there. I went to a restaurant, sat there for about half an hour. And I figured that was enough raccoon time for him because I didn't want to disturb, whatever he was going through. I didn't want like raccoon rabies or have a bit of his raccoon wrath. So I didn't want to deal with that. And when I came back, he was in the neighborhood circling, but he did move from my door. So I was able to run inside and lock the doors and get in. But that was gangsta. Like, and I don't know. Did anyone ever experience that? I mean, I'm seeing therapy for it, but that's just what happened to me the other day. But let me tell you, it's going to be a great show. We got a turned up show tonight. Make some noise for yourself. We have some stellar guests, so you don't want to go anywhere. We're going to be back with business mogul Linda Proctor here, the Nikki Clarke Show live. Come right back. Welcome back. Sitting beside me now is the owner of Fruitalicious Creations and Cakes. It's Sandra, Danso, Boadi. Thank you so much for being here. Now, how many people had a sample of Sandra's delicious cake? We like you, Sandra. We like you a lot.
Thank you too.
Thank you for coming tonight. Now tell me a little bit about your company. When did you start? When did you know you were a cake artist? Because I mean, it's beautiful to look at. It's really a mastery of what you do. So it is art.
Thank you. Actually, it started. I've been baking all my life. I just love cooking. I love baking. And one funny story that I always share regarding my ability to bake these goodies are the fact that when I was growing up, I used to go out with my pastor's wife. And then we'll go to universities and preach and then go with her and help her out. And then
Where
one
did
day
you grow up, by the way?
in Ghana. Yes, in Ghana. So we went to a prayer meeting, and then while we were praying, she said, you know what, I don't know what it is about you, but when I was praying, all I see is cakes. And it was almost my birthday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I think I'm gonna get a really big birthday cake, but my birthday came and nothing happened. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? But it didn't dawn on me
No birthday
until,
cake for you.
no birthday cake, no. And then it didn't dawn on me until recently when I started baking. And sometimes I'll design something and it baffles me how I'm able to do that because I'm self-trained. I just watch videos.
You're self-taught.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, I was thinking about it and I said, you know what, this is God doing. This is not mine at all. And then I contacted her and I said, do you remember telling me this about seeing so many cakes? I think this is the time. And I'm making these cakes. And then, so I think that is how it started. But actually, Fruitalicious came into effect on November 23rd. That is when I registered the business with the help of my husband.
What year was it?
2000, last year actually.
Okay.
It hasn't been long at all, last year. And then it was really difficult coming up with the name. I think that is what actually I took so long establishing the business because I wasn't sure because I wanted to combine the food arrangement and the cakes at the same time. So I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. Then my sister just sent me a text, hey, why don't you go with Fruitalicious? It sounds like you can combine Fruitalicious, creation, and then the cakes. I go, okay, there we go.
I think it's
and
appropriate.
then that is how it started.
Beautiful. Now you've got family here. Make some noise if you are a daughter or son of. Oh, now you're gonna keep quiet. Thank you. All right. Make me look like a liar. How do you balance a career and family?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
You have to.
Yes, but it's planning. I plan ahead of time. I usually advise customers that, or my client, that I need at least 4 weeks notice, especially with regards to wedding cakes and any custom cakes. that way I can plan ahead. Anytime I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, take care of the girls, they go to school, I start work and then pick them up. And then after I come home, I help them with their homework, dinner, and then after, I go straight to the kitchen. If I have to do anything, I just have everything planned out throughout the entire week. And then 4 days prior, I just start putting everything together.
So a lot of time management.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. You don't wing it.
Never.
So what kind of cakes do you make?
I make all kinds of cakes. I have detailed information on my website, fooddeliciouscakes.com. Red velvet is mostly, a lot of people actually want the red velvet cake, and I believe like it's good,
Yes.
right?
It's good.
That is what most people come for, but I have, I actually made a recipe and named them after my daughters.
Oh, what are your
It's
daughters'
called
names?
Salisa and Janelle. Janelle is actually the oldest. It's called Jalisa Dream Cake. So they love cream puff with chocolate and hazelnut. So I decided to do a chocolate fudge cake and then put the cream puff and then drizzle it with a little bit of chocolate and the hazelnut. And it tastes so amazing.
Stop. That's amazing. And where is your home base? Is it
Mississauga.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Can you make a cake for me?
Yes,
I have a
definitely.
birthday coming up in December.
Sure.
I'll tell you what I like. I like Oreos.
Mhm.
I like red velvet, and I like chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm serious.
That shouldn't be a problem.
That's
at
not a
all.
problem at all?
No.
Okay. All right, you can call it whatever you want to call
Yes,
it.
I can call it.
Fantastic. And how can people find you and get some of your
I'm on
goodies?
Facebook, it's Fooddelicious Creation and Cakes, and my website, Fooddelicious Creations, fooddeliciouscakes.com. I'm on Instagram as well, it's FooddelicioussCC, and then on Twitter, FooddelicioussCC.
Easy to follow. You follow back on Twitter?
Oh, yes, you can.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for doing this. We're back now with the owner of the English Quotient, Anila Averi. Welcome her. You look absolutely stunning tonight. I like what you're wearing.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great opportunity to be on the show.
More than welcome. So we met actually over coffee.
Yes.
Midlife Bliss.
Yes.
Coffee connection. And we've kept in touch. And I'm really have been following your progress. And you're doing so much for the community. And we have a lot in common with education. We're both teachers.
Definitely.
But let's go back a little bit and talk about your background. You immigrated not too long ago, in the 80s, to Canada. And in your bio, you mentioned that there were challenges that your parents, who are entrepreneurs, things they faced that you learned now as an entrepreneur. What were some of the lessons that you learned through their observation?
Yes, my parents were both entrepreneurs, and the 80s was a slow economic time. They had to
Big recession.
Big recession. They had to completely reinvent themselves. They were very successful. They had to start over again. Most of the sacrifices they made were for our education. And so what I've learned from that is to invest in education and to continue with the education myself. And so now I find myself in education, helping other people, often newcomers, international students, and generally people who are very talented but who sometimes have the barrier of English in moving forward in their lives. So that's what we do at English Quotient.
Okay.
Help people succeed and overcome those barriers.
All right. And it's not just people who are learning English, but even native speakers
Absolutely.
have challenges with English.
Absolutely.
But even with my own experience as a college professor, when I marked term papers, I was amazed at the spelling and grammatical errors. And when there was a study at the time, and that was the late 90s, I think it was maybe 30 in the mid 30s percentage of people who actually did well in English placement courses. There was a lot of failure rate, when they were giving these English tests.
So what is that, what's happening in the school system then? Are we failing the students?
Yes, you know what, that was the 90s you mentioned, and it's gotten so much worse now. Now with technology and education, and most kids not even actually picking up a book, you know, because it's always the iPads and all the other technology they have. It's gotten a lot worse. People use spell check, they don't really spell anything anymore. So yes, a lot of people come to us for that type of training, especially when they're going to college and university. And some of our success stories are really helping people to overcome that barrier and to perfect their essay writing skills, their college skills. And we do a lot of corporate training, you know, in offices and workplaces where people can improve their presentation skills, learn how to write good speeches, learn how to conduct successful meetings, and really get to that next level. So I think it's actually gotten worse in the public schools with the overcrowding. I've been part of the public school system. I'm a certified, Ontario certified teacher. The public school is recent, it's been a couple of years, but I've been in the private school system for a longer time, and career colleges as well. So right now there's a real trend towards having more English focused courses even in the private colleges. Because people may have the technical skills, but they struggle with the English part. So yeah.
So that is what, that propelled you into starting English Quotient.
Absolutely. There's a lot of demand for it. We're actually expanding into the healthcare field now because there's a lot of frontline workers in the healthcare field who have to deal with people all the time. And again, who are struggling with those English skills. And the hospitality field, hotels especially. A lot of people interact with people. They're struggling with basic English. So there's a lot of demand for that in those companies as well.
How long have you been doing English Quotient now?
English Quotient about 14 years with the tutoring services, and recently we've expanded into the corporate training. And IELTS is huge as well. It's the International English Language Testing System. Every immigrant who moves to Canada now needs it, so there's huge demand for that especially. We work with a lot of lawyers and consultants who send me their clients. No matter how much they're willing to pay the lawyer, they still need to pass this English test. So it's really a growing field. Coaching in English, yeah. There's a lot of demand for good English skills now.
And you mentioned to me in passing about Brazilian lawyers. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we're very excited about a group of lawyers from Brazil. So I work with the international market as well, offer online courses. There's a huge demand for especially international people who don't have the opportunities we have to learn English. So the online courses really help them. It's offered through Google Hangout. And we're very excited about this group of lawyers from Brazil who are going to come into our location. We have a wonderful location at 151 Yonge Street across the Legal Centre. So they'll get the whole experience of Toronto as well as perfect their English skills so that they can move on in their career.
So what's next for you after the English Quotient? Do you see expansion? Another office?
I do see expansion, possibly. The same office downtown. It's just a lovely location. We're located at 151 Yonge Street. And yes, I see it expanding. There seems to be a lot of demand in the corporate world for people to increase their English skills.
So the age ranges for your students are?
The age ranges,
teenagers?
yes. Usually deal with teenagers and young adults, but I also just came from being at Branksome Hall, so sometimes it's students as young as grade 9 who are looking to get into university and preparing earlier. We find that students are preparing earlier and earlier now for university, so they might start as young as grade 9. I am certified to teach the primary junior range as well, but most of the business-focused English is with adults, young adults.
Sometimes when you pour your heart into your work as a teacher, and that's how I went about my business when I was teaching. I really was very passionate about what I did and working to see that light bulb go off in class. Sometimes you don't see the rewards right away. It takes some time, based on the child's temperament and individuality. But can you tell us a time where you were really proud of that light bulb moment when you saw a change in women's style or something that turned around?
Right. That's, I guess, in the traditional school system, you do wait a long time to see some sort of reward, and that is exactly why I work for myself now and I have this company. We see the rewards very quickly every day. It's exciting for us when somebody gets that promotion, when they get that job that they wanted, when their confidence increases because somebody took the time to help them learn the ropes. And so we do see the rewards very quickly, especially with the IELTS training. lots of people have gotten their immigration very quickly because they got a certain score.
Right.
So most of our clients are through referrals and word of mouth, and we're very proud of that.
Well, I'm very happy for what you do for the community.
Thank
And how
you.
can people reach out to find you?
Well, our location is at 151 Yonge Street on the 11th floor, Suite 1164. That's where we're located. And the website is www.businessenglishhelp.com. And if you Google Anila Averi, I'm on Facebook and Twitter, and there's a lot of updates there.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. So good.
Back now, sitting beside me is a powerful woman, and I'm very honored to have her here on the show. Would you please welcome the founder of a celebration of women, Nikki Clarke. Thank you so much for finding the time to be here. It means a lot to me.
It's great. I'm having fun.
It's a lot of fun. You never know what to expect on the show, right?
Yeah, this is wonderful. You're doing great work.
Thank you, and as are you. And we were together on Sunday for something very special. Can you talk about what that was?
Yes, Sunday we had our World Peace Conference.
It was World Peace Day.
World Peace Day, September 21. And it was a very important day. We tagged ours, the Global Women's Peace Summit.
Yeah. Peace is an inside job.
Yes. And subsequent to that day, on Tuesday, I was having a conversation with a woman that was working with an MP of a area in Ontario who had 2 weeks earlier talked about Peace Day and was wanting to do something. And this particular MP said, "What is Peace Day?" And that's what made our day so much more important. I mean, world peace is a dream, perhaps, but it possibly is achievable with enough of the collective energy and the collective, put your 2 feet in the ground and zimele, as they would say, stand on your own 2 feet and say, "I will not tolerate anything less than peace." And that's where we came up with the concept of it being an inside job. And you were one of our speakers. Are you going to share?
Yes, I was very happy to accept the Peace Messenger role. I was one of them, and Catherine asked me to speak about forgiveness, which is, I think, a really timely thing for myself, and I think it's something that everyone has to come to terms with. However long it takes to get there. It's something that you need to do to move on, right?
Forgiveness may be the ribbon that you unwrap to allow the gift to open.
That's very good.
Right? It's the toughest ride, it's the toughest journey, but it truly is the essence of an experience, regardless of the experience, that pays the forgiver. So the giver, the person that transcends through forgiveness is the winner. That's the key. That's the spiritual axiom of the whole event, right? That's what confuses and confounds most people.
It was wonderfully delivered, and
We had fun. Huh?
it was a lot of
great
fun.
day.
It was a wonderful day.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy to have been part of it. Now, I know a lot about the things you do. You're very involved in the community. But I'd like to know more about Catherine.
Catherine?
I know your mom. You have daughters.
Yes, I have 3 daughters and 1 son. They range from 19 to 32.
What?
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah, very good. My eldest son is the son, 32, is married, happily, great. Eldest daughter's married, happily, great.
Doing good, Catherine.
Oh yeah, baby. The other 2 are in university. One's in Guelph, one's in U of T. Thank you, Lord. And I'm not suffering from empty nest syndrome.
You're not?
Not yet.
Right.
But then, I get so many text messages and phone calls with the cell phone that there is no such thing as empty nest anymore, really, right? Because we're always connected, which is kind of cool. But yes, I have 4 children. 3 are girls, and the celebration of women, I pray to be part of their legacy, I may leave to them. I mean, we can't.
Do you see a little Catherine?
Ironically enough, I see it in my youngest.
Okay.
She's actually at U of T. She took a year off and she started this year. And one of her core studies is women's studies.
Ah, there you go.
And here's the pièce de la résistance of the last 8 years of my life. My 19-year-old who 3 to 5 years ago would yell at me that I was neglecting her because I had a laptop glued to my glutes, working on a Celebration of Women Foundation, came to me 3 days ago and gave me the biggest hug on the planet because she had some project that she needed to write, a paper. She's in university, everything's about writing a paper. And she came to me and gave me a big hug and she said, Mom, I took something from your site. I took something from .org. She says, I'm stunned as to the information on that site. And I said to her,
It's been there all the time.
8 years later, I said, God love you, thank you. It is a resource for you now in women's studies.
And it'll be a resource for her children.
Absolutely.
So the Celebration of Women was founded how long ago?
2007.
Okay. And what was the purpose of it? What's the goal?
The goal is to achieve on an advocacy level equality of women among women. As the founder, my philosophy is that women achieved equality years ago, decades ago. And I understand that financially in the career sector or in the political sector, we still have low percentages and we have a lot of differentiation to deal with. But quite frankly, on a global, or let's shrink it. Let's shrink it to North America or Canada. On a financial level, in Ontario, for example, 80% of the households in our province, the women are earning more money than the men. Okay? So on that level, politically speaking, fundamental business entrepreneur, we've arrived. We arrived a long time ago.
We've come a long way.
Yes. And what we need to do now as women is heal from the inside. We have a philosophy, I mean myself as the founder and the core team at the Celebration of Women, is that women as human beings need to now treat each other like equals.
Oh, okay.
That's
So-
our core mission.
So you're saying that women are not...
It's a
empowering each other?
philosophy. It's a philosophy. There's no fact behind this. This is a philosophy, but the philosophy within our own organization is that there's a large percentage of women so damaged by patriarchy that they're carrying through the patriarchy into feminism or into equality or into humanity. And personally, I like to see life through humanity. I don't see gender. I don't see nationality. I don't see color. I'm a feeling sensitive and I always see energy. So as a person, as an individual, I'm a little bit of a weirdo. But
When the Thank you.